His energy, his presence, he was everything. Just being active on the defensive end, running the floor, offensively at the bit, stands out a lot. But this is his activity, man. Just being able to alter shots at the rim, grabbing boards, getting a couple offensive rebounds, which is something we need. Just being a force, man.
This is Bradley Beal talking about Nick Richards, who made his Phoenix Suns debut over the weekend. We saw him play against Detroit. We saw him get start yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You had said that once he got acclimated, he would start. He was acclimated, he started, and in 2 games with the Phoenix Suns, we've seen it all so far from Nick Richards, right? Like the him making an impact at the highest level, to the Phoenix Suns getting only 1 offensive rebound and Nick Richards being in trouble with foul problems and keeping him off the floor for a lot of that game. We've seen a little bit of everything.
His impact in the starting lineup was immediate in that game. He got the majority of the minutes at center against Detroit, 29 minutes, 7 of 8 from the field. Got to the free throw line quite a bit, 9 times, hit 7 free throws, 21 to plus 22, 11 rebounds, 4 on the offensive glass. You're thinking, okay, this is pretty good. They start Plumlee in the 4th. They bring Richards back at the 8:42 mark, and he helped them out rebound the Detroit Pistons in that game. Size, boxing out, playing physical, all that was good. Now, the next game, you go against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it wasn't very good. The center spot overall wasn't very good. Plumlee barely played, also got garbage time. If it wasn't Nick Richards, they went small.
Yeah.
They went with a small lineup with Kevin Durant at the 5. When Richards, got in foul trouble early in the game and kind of dealt with that throughout. So you didn't see a great impact from him. He was hardly a factor. He had 4 points and had 4 rebounds, and he had 5 fouls in 22 minutes.
I think they went small in large part because Cleveland started playing that crazy zone about halfway through the second quarter, and it really, really messed with the Suns.
It should lead to a lot of open three-point shots.
You would think so, but I think they were just trying to get like a Kevin Durant type in the middle to kind of help facilitate things, which is something that maybe Nurkic could have helped with if he was available. Yeah, I mean, it's been... Look, the debut on Saturday was phenomenal. You're thinking this is it. This is everything you kind of hope for in terms of the rebounds and what he was doing and attacking the rim and the gravity that comes when you're attacking the rim. But then yesterday, it kind of feels like and this was what we said when they acquired him too. All right, and I think this is what a lot of people said about him. He's good. He's young. There are some things he does well. There are some things he doesn't do very well, and he's not a cure-all. He's not a guy who's going to come in and he's an upgrade, but he's not like this drastic upgrade to what you've got at the position.
He gives him youth and athleticism.
He's better than what but there are things he doesn't, he's not a great passer out of the post. He doesn't, in terms of the basketball IQ and seeing the game, something that we saw yesterday.
He gets a lot of goaltending.
He gets a lot of goaltending. I was just going to say he doesn't know when to not go for the block shot sometimes, and that gets him a little bit in trouble. Foul trouble is a problem for him. He gets in foul trouble a lot, and that certainly came to play last night as well. That I think there's one more game on this road trip. They've already said Jusuf Nurkic isn't going to join a team in Brooklyn. So the next time we'll see Jusuf Nurkic is when they're home on, I think, Saturday against Washington is the next game they'll play. The center rotation then, from that point moving forward, that's what I can't wait to watch.
When all 4 guys are available.
When all 4 guys are available, because
what would you do?
I would start Nick Richards, and I would bring Jusuf Nurkic off the bench. That's exactly what I would do.
Do you play a 3rd guy?
I still want to keep Oso in the mix a little bit. Yeah. But he's a rookie. He's got his flaws too because he's a rookie. There's going to be a learning curve for him too. And I would play Mason Plumlee very sparingly.
You're not going to play 4 guys.
No, I know. I mean very, very sparingly, like only in case of emergency kind of thing. That's what I would do. I think in many ways Jusuf Nurkic would now. Does he want that? Will he embrace that? Will he be a problem if that's the role you give him?
You start to worry about all these guys who,
yes,
Nurkic on the trade block, Beal on the trade block. Tyus Jones was losing his minutes when they put Beal on the bench. He wasn't you worry about all these guys not exactly knowing what their roles are, whether they're wanted, whether they're going to be here or not.
Sure.
That's something when the trade deadline's over, okay, this is our roster going forward. But until the trade deadline, you're going to have to deal with that.
No, you are. I think the reality with Nurk, and I think he's smart enough to know this, is that it's going to be very difficult to trade him. I mean, it's going to be next to impossible to trade him unless you add something to sweeten the pot. And we've already decided we don't want to do any more of that because there's just not that much sweetener left. So
no, there's not.
I think there's a very, very real possibility that when this is all said and done, Yusef Nurkic is going to be on your roster after the trade deadline. So whatever hurt feelings there are, whatever, if he's all bent because of how he got treated or his role or anything, he might not have any other choice but to play through it. What would be your perfect center rotation, and what would you do?
Yeah, I still want to see Oso because, I want to develop him. I want to work on him. I would probably go Richards to start. I agree with you. I think Nurkic is a better player than Plumlee, but my leash on bringing Nurkic back would be very short, though. Like, you've got to show me something. Like, you got to have to be better, or else I'm not. There's no reason to play you anymore. Okay, you was sick. Like, so I like if Nurkic doesn't show me incredible improvement, then I'm not going to keep that very long. I'll go back to Plumlee.
Just like you'd said earlier in the show, though, the big picture hope here is because I don't have a lot of faith that this team's going to be able to go very far in the postseason. The big picture hope here is that Nick Richards is a long-term acquisition, right? Like is because you gave up a bunch of seconds, and not that you're going to get great players all the time with seconds, but they're valuable. They're assets for a reason. You gave up a bunch of seconds for Nick Richards. I hope he can end up being a somewhat long-term player for you over the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
A guy who can contribute.
Yeah.
Because I think his short-term value, I just don't know if there's a lot to be said for any short-term value for the Phoenix Suns. This season just feels like it's kind of hanging in the balance right now. I don't think Nick Richards makes that much of a difference.
You always worry about, when you bring guys in and you're changing so many different things on the fly, that continuity, that chemistry these other teams have, it's harder for you to get that in a limited time.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.